All right, Eric, as I mentioned before, one of my primary responsibilities here is to go over all your manufacturer warranty information. So, what exactly do you understand about your manufacturer warranty?
I think they told me up front that I get a 3-year, 36,000 mile bumper to bumper. I think that's what they told me.
Close. So I'll explain a little bit more. Bumper to bumper is obviously a word that's used a lot in our industry, but what you have is the most comprehensive coverage that Toyota's putting on it, which is a 3-year 36. And actually, what I have right here is your manufacturer's warranty. You're going to get one of these before you leave today. It's about 58 pages long, so to be conscious of your time, we're not going to go through every single page. But what I have done is I've highlighted some of the key roles here in the book so that this way you know what's the most important information on here. And if we look right here on page 12, you look and see where it says basic. That's going to be that bumper to bumper that you're talking about. It is 3 years, 36,000 miles. And then you do have a powertrain warranty, a limited liability powertrain warranty, 60 months, 60,000 miles.
Okay.
So one of the things that I wanted to point out to you is obviously that word limited, that's something that, you want to try to pay attention to because this is a limited manufacturer warranty. If you look right here in the book and we go over what is covered and for how long, this is on your basic warranty now. If you read this first statement right here from Toyota in their own words, this warranty covers repairs and adjustments needed to correct defects in materials or workmanship of any part supplied by Toyota. So there's a few words in there that I want to kind of bring out to the table so that you understand exactly what they mean. The first one is obviously defect. Defect is something that Toyota has either misdesigned, misbuilt, or misinstalled.
Okay.
The other two words I want to bring out is materials and workmanship. Now, materials is just a fancy word for parts, and workmanship is just a fancy word for labor. So what Toyota is saying is they're giving you defect coverage over materials, parts, workmanship, labor. That's anything misdesigned, misbuilt, or misinstalled.
Okay.
If we go over here to the next page, on page number 14, you're going to see this list right here. It says what is not covered. Now there's a whole laundry list full of things here, so I'll just read you a few of them. Improper repairs, fire, accidents or theft, lack of or improper maintenance, any airborne chemicals, so like tree sap, road debris, rail dust, floods, windstorms, lightning. And then you also see right here in the same category tires. Tires are not covered, as well as normal wear and tear. Now that's a big thing right there. You might be asking me, well, what's the difference between wear and tear and defects? So basically, if we look in right here, I created this graph since this book is quite big. This is going to help you kind of understand things a little bit better. If you look right here, it says defect coverage only, your wear and tear items. The difference between wear and tear and defect, we've actually partnered up with our service department, and we've gotten the four main reasons of wear and tear. And they're listed as so: climate, road conditions, personal driving habits, the lack of or improper maintenance. So tell me, out of these four things, which two do you think you could control?
I think that I can control my personal driving habits and my maintenance, of course. I think I can get my maintenance done.
Correct. Now, out of these four things, which ones do you think Toyota can control?
None of them.
Exactly. That's what all my customers say. And that's why the manufacturer reserves the right to decide whether or not a claim is going to be approved due to defect or if it's wear and tear, right? So they get to be able to be the ones to make that choice because they can't control that. So let me ask you a question. If Toyota called you on the phone and said, hey, Eric, listen, rather than us cover you for the first half of the vehicle's life, we're going to go ahead and cover the second half, and you be responsible for the first half. That's probably a call you'd be willing to take, right?
100%.
Exactly. Why? Because the vehicle is less likely to have wear and tear issues in the beginning of the life, and it's way more likely for it to happen in the second half, and that's just too much liability that Toyota would have on their hands.
Sure.
That's the reason why we partnered with MPP. It's the greatest service contract company in the world, and the reason why they say that is because if you read right here in their opening statement on their Platinum Mechanical Breakdown, it says coverage is not just limited to the repair of manufacturer's defects. If a covered part fails due to wear and tear under normal use, we will fix it. This is considered to be a blanket coverage that covers over the manufacturer's warranty to kind of fill in the gaps, all the gray areas, okay? So one of the other things is Toyota is giving you a 2-year, 25,000 mile complimentary regular schedule maintenance. That's going to cover you only for your oil changes and your tire rotations. Now, that doesn't cover you for the entire term that you're going to have the vehicle. Do you have any idea why Toyota might give you those 2 years, 25 for free?
So you get accustomed to servicing the vehicle, maybe?
Exactly. So you're spot on. The reason why Toyota gives you those 2 years for free is because they're trying to train you into doing proper maintenance on your vehicle to prolong the life of the vehicle. They want it on the road too because they make money off of you in service. They give you those 2 years free to kind of get you in the habit. So what we've actually looked at is there are a couple additional areas of risk that most people tend to forget about. They don't really think about it. Usually you think of maintenance, you think of oil changes and tire rotations, but later on down the life of the vehicle, there are going to be extra things that will eventually fail due to wear and tear. And a couple of those things are your enhanced maintenance areas. You are going to have belts, hoses, brake pads, alignments, electrical, battery, and headlamps. These are all things that are going to affect the future performance of your vehicle. So in the event that one of these fails, you're going to be 100% risk responsible for that. Okay, Toyota is not going to cover that. These are all considered wear and tear items here. Now, the other thing is your tires and wheels. Underinflation, overinflation, and even road hazards. I mean, here in Florida, we don't have the best roads. There's actually 7 flats per second in America, which equals over 220 million flats a year. Now, your manufacturer of the tire is going to give you a defect coverage just like Toyota gives you on the vehicle. However, that's not going to cover underinflation, overinflation, or any road hazards. So if you pick up a nail or something like that, that's on you. Another area is going to be your cosmetic conditions. Obviously, dings and dents are virtually unavoidable. I mean, you can go to any grocery store parking lot right now and there's probably 30 or 40 shopping carts pushed up against a car. It's going to happen. That's obviously going to affect the future value of your vehicle and it'll be on you, as well as the paint and fabric. Florida, tree sap, you have UV rays, you do have acid rain and fallout here. These are all things that could affect the future value of your vehicle later on down the road. Obviously, when you trade this thing in, you're going to want to get as much money as possible. And then the interior, let's face it, we basically live in our vehicles nowadays. If you spill something or drop something and it causes damage, or even if the sun beats on your dashboard and it cracks your dashboard, this is not something that's a defect. This is something that's going to be due to wear and tear because it happens over time, and it's going to be on you to replace that or fix that. The other thing is obviously your windshield repairs and key remotes. I mean, windshields obviously go without saying. I'm sure you've been driving through Orlando and in the construction areas and had a rock skip up and hit your windshield. What ends up happening is they leave a little chip in your windshield that doesn't look big right now, but over time that little chip can turn into a massive crack. And I actually consider that to be a big safety concern because if that windshield cracks when you're driving, it's going to obstruct your visibility and it could alert you or alarm you, and maybe you end up getting into an accident, hopefully not. But this can be something that's on you. And then key replacement. I mean, if you lose your key, these things are not cheap. It's not like 20 years ago where you can go into Home Depot and get a key cut for like $10. These things cost anywhere from $300 to $500. And if you lose one, or if one breaks on you, this is going to be something that's considered under wear and tear. So it's going to be on you. And then last but not least is vehicle loss. Theft is obviously a big thing in America. Realistically, if it were a Fortune 500 company, it would rank number 56. Every 21 seconds there's a vehicle being stolen. And obviously that's not going to be something covered by Toyota. But in the event that does happen, now you're stuck in a position of trying to get your vehicle back because recovery is a huge issue too. And that's something that you're going to have to take on your own. Right now, vehicle recovery is going to be something that is going to leave you without a vehicle. You're not going to be able to get to work or make your payments. Total loss, there's 3 types of total loss. You have Mother Nature, you have an accident, and then you do have, obviously, in the event that you don't get the vehicle found, you're without a vehicle. They say 1 out of every 5 vehicles in America that's involved in an accident is deemed a total loss. That's 20%. So in the event of a total loss, you're on your own. That's between you and the insurance company too. And obviously in a total loss, the insurance company, they're only responsible to pay the actual cash value of your vehicle. They don't have to pay the full amount that you owe. That doesn't matter to them. So yeah, that could leave you owing thousands of dollars realistically in the long run. So these are additional areas of risk, and what I've done is I've actually put together a financial package like I talked about earlier that I want to go over with you real quick.